This Indian folktale is popular with the Lepcha tribe of Sikkim. The Lepchas are a people who came to inhabit Sikkim a long time ago. They settled down on the slopes of the great peak Kanchenjunga. The Lepchas call themselves Rong, which in their language means the people of the valley. So, as you all have guessed, today's folktale is from Sikkim. Now let's hear the story. All these folktales I am reading out because I am not very familiar with the folktales of these regions. So, if there is any mistake in pronunciation of the names, please excuse me. One day, a brave young Lepcha was hunting in a remote forest when he came upon a stream. Floating down the stream was the branch of a tree. Instead of leaves, it had beautiful blue-green needles, and the bark looked as though it was made of gold. The young man knew that there was no such tree growing in the valley. He thought that the branch must have come from Mayel, and that it further meant that the tree lay somewhere upstream. Leaving his bag of game on the forest floor and forgetting all about hunting, the young Lepcha began to climb up the mountain. He followed the path of the stream. So excited was that he climbed for days and days but never got tired. In time, he crossed the forest and a range of snow-covered mountains. After several more days, he came to an open space at the heart of which lay a lake. Around the lake, the young Lepcha saw a whole lot of white feathers and wondered to which bird they belonged. He pressed on, and at last he reached a lush green valley surrounded by tall mountains. This was Mayel, the home of the Lepchas' ancestors. The sun was already setting when the young man reached the first house in the valley. He knocked at the stout wooden door, and an old woman opened it. She took him in and offered him a rug to sit on. Then she brought him some hot water to wash his feet. Later, when he was rested, she served a simple but satisfying meal of roasted grain, fruit, and milk. The old woman was soon joined by an old man, and the young Lepcha learned that the old couple lived all by themselves in that house. Lepcha learned that the couple was childless. The young Lepcha lay down on the rug and was soon fast asleep. He slept soundly till the sun rose again behind the mountain peaks, and then he was awakened by the sound of children at play. He got out of bed to find a little boy and a girl running about the house. He thought they must be the neighbor's children, and the old people had probably gone to work in the fields. But when asked the children who they were, they laughed merely and answered that they are the old couple. The young man was thoroughly confused. The children informed him that that is how their world worked. In the morning, they are children. By midday, they grow up into adults. In the evening, they are old. But by the following morning, they are children again. In this way, they live forever. The young Lepcha spent 7 very happy days in the valley. He roamed around, enjoying the beautiful scenery. He saw a whole forest of trees with blue-green needles and golden bark. And morning and evening, he saw large flocks of white birds winging their way across the sky. At the end of 7 days, the old woman told the young Lepcha that he must return to his world, as no ordinary human was allowed to live in Mayel. The old woman gave him the seeds of several different kinds of grains as gifts. She said that if those seeds are sown in the village Then his people will always have plenty to eat. But they should be sown at a proper time. The young man asked, "How will I know which is the great time?" Just then a flock of white birds flew past them. The old woman smiled. She said that they would send a flock of white birds as a signal for the apt time. The Lepchas believe that this is how they came to have food grains. To this day, when they see flocks of white birds, they know that it is time for them to sow their crops. Once the sowing is over, they begin to pray to their ancestors in Mayel to send them a good harvest. So, there ends the folktale from Sikkim. Hope you have enjoyed it. Something very different, isn't it? Yeah. And till we meet again with another folktale from another state, tata, bye bye.